Hello, this is Olio. And before I go any further, I want to tell you what Olio means. It's short for olla podrida, which is Spanish for rotten bowl, which I just love. It's a Spanish-Portuguese dish with pork of all of its iterations, bacon, sausage, pig's ears, etc., as well as chicken, chickpeas, cabbage, carrot, beans, and of course onions and garlic. In other words, pretty much everything. Not everything necessarily, but lots. And that's what Olio is. Okay. Today, my guest is Ken Winter. Thank you very much, Ken. And Ken is deeply involved in an organization called Co-conspirators. And the people who are involved in co-conspirators meet every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Every Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At the Flower Garden Cafe on Elm. And if you are interested in talking with Ken without going, you can email him kwinter3917 @gmail.com. So, and I go into Flower Garden periodically, and sometimes I'm there in Tuesday afternoon, and I see a group of you guys seriously and sometimes not seriously having a conversation, and I keep seeing you, and so what is this? So what is this co-conspirators group?
It's basically a friendship group. People that I have known, and then some of them invite friends too. And we discuss whatever is top of mind for people today. It might be something in their personal lives. It might be something in our civic life. One of the people who shows up regularly, born and raised in Auburn. So we call him Mr. Auburn, and he keeps us appraised of all the local stuff that's going on, especially Placer High School alum events and the like. But other people come from very different walks of life. One fellow I call my favorite rocket scientist. He worked for very high-tech organizations in the early part of the 70s and until he retired.
So he's an old man, the early part of the 70s. Okay.
Yes. Most of us are retired.
Yeah.
Because we meet at the afternoon.
Too. Yes, yeah.
And not everyone can do that.
Right.
We have a fellow there who comes who's retired from a major bank. He was a data guy for them, helped them maintain and operate their data programs. We have a gal who is fairly high up in an executive golf fund organization. We have another gal who's starting her own business. We have 2 or 3 other guys who show up because they have something in particular to contribute. I suppose there's a loose connection for most of us, not all of us, on concern about the climate and the environment.
Okay.
And that's been for me a major emphasis since I retired like 11, 12 years ago now.
Okay.
For years I was the pastor of the Presbyterian church in town, started that congregation back in about 1982. Through that has come a number of other events and organizations in the community. But I hung up my collar about 12 years ago when I retired, and this is one of the things I'm doing, as well as being president of Placer Earth Care Action, and I'm founding member of Placer People of Faith Together, and some other things in the area that are pretty focused on climate and climate justice and issues like that, and what we can do individually and together to make a difference.
Okay, and that's what Co-conspirators is all about?
It's mostly a way to digest that, talk about that, see what's missing, what don't we know, what do we know, what do we do about it.
And what do you do about it?
Well, some of us, for example, have put in convection cooktops in our homes and taken out the gas stovetops. I noticed when I did that, immediately, the next day, I could tell the difference in the home air, the atmosphere, because there wasn't this constant little leakage of methane, which is what natural gas really is. So I did that, and I put in a heat pump, which took out the gas furnace. So we're running more and more to electrify our homes. A number of us have electric cars. We're trying to decrease our carbon footprint.
Why?
Because if we don't...
I know why, but tell me why.
Well, because we're going to cook ourselves, to make it very simple, and ruin chances for great living for our children and our children's children. And if we care about those people, we ought to be doing what we can. So that's just one of the topics we're likely to touch on when we get together. It's not officially a climate group, but we all live in this world.
Mm-hmm.
We all have that interest. So we share what we've been reading, or a YouTube video that we saw.
You can have your arm.
Yeah.
You can have your arm.
Oh, good. I can
Yeah,
have my arm out.
Yeah.
Oh, so much. Thank you. Thank you. My arm thanks you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do you have any arguments?
Oh, sometimes we do, for sure. I guess one of the unwritten rules is we still care about each other and connect to each other.
Yeah.
And we allow each of us space to be our own person.
Mm-hmm.
We are not necessarily uniform in our beliefs or opinions. Some folks have been active church members of various congregations in the area. Some folks have nothing to do with religion at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yes.
What else you got?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see you have this paper. What do you have in there?
Well, this paper is actually from you. This is the most
really?
likely questions I was going to be getting.
Okay.
So I decided, I'll bring this along. Let's see how she does.
Yeah.
Check, check, check.
Okay. Okay. The aim is to make this place and the world better.
Yes, our primary aim is to connect with each other, be friends. It's a friendship group at base. We happen to share some values in common, some particular subjects or applications of those values, but it's not an ideological group. It's not focused on a particular action or concern. The fact is, in our culture, especially as we have depended more and more on these little computers in our pockets, we have gathered less and less. And the loneliness that has accrued from that is substantial. So friendship groups like this, no fees, no memberships, no maintenance you got to do, is something we all need to think about. How could I do that? Who could I invite to have coffee with me someplace in public where others might drop in? That's really at base what we're about.
And is that how you? When did you start?
Well, as I say, I retired 11, 12 years ago.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I need to say something. I think I think what you just said is lovely. Is really elegant. And serious and important. Yes, I think that's so. Yeah, thank you. I think it's wonderful. Yes.
And that's something we can all do.
Yes.
And it's in our power to do that. Just
yes.
ask. Just speak up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come join.
Yeah. For me, because I've had so much public life, that may be easier than for some other people.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sell encyclopedias door to door in Michigan for one summer. So I would knock on strangers' doors, and they would often welcome me into their home, and we build friendship right there.
Oh, nice.
Where I live now, people have slowly turned over in the homes in the neighborhood. So I just invite this person and their spouse to come over, bring a pizza. do the same invitation to someone else, bring a pizza. We put all our pizzas on the counter. We swap them all around, so we try each other's pizzas. You're going to take home leftovers, and you know that some of them are ones you like because you brought that pizza.
Yeah.
So it's a, low cost way to meet some other folks who live near you
Yes.
that you haven't met yet.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of us, we're like the drawbridge. We drive our car into the garage, close the door.
Yeah.
We don't know the people around us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we can do better.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I asked you how it started, didn't I?
Well, yes.
Yes, I did.
About 8 years ago, and I just asked a couple people, since I wasn't any longer a part of that one church community, because in our denomination the rules require the old guy not hang around, so the new person has the chance to really become a leader in that congregation. I agree with that.
Okay.
But that meant I, really had no automatic connection with a lot of these people. So I said, hey, Kurt or Bob or whatever, join me for coffee Tuesday? We had to find a place that was open in the afternoons. Many coffee shops are not.
Yeah.
But the Flower Garden is, so we take the largest table when it's available and have anywhere between 4 and 10 people there.
Yeah. And you are involved. You are eager to have more.
Well, if we get too many more, we'll find another venue, which can be done. In good weather, we've camped out at the Veterans Garden area over there on Lincoln Way. And that's plenty good.
I like that. Yeah, it takes me a while to get it.
Where it is. Yeah.
I know where it is, but
Yeah.
What is it? Yes.
So they have outdoor tables, and there's plenty of room there, and we're not going to disturb anybody. But that's only for good weather, and sometimes we can't do that. One of our guys finds it hot temperatures really difficult because of his medical conditions. So that's one of the reasons we sought out some place where there would be climate control and he could participate.
Yeah. Okay. So I was assuming that this was an organization that was doing things, but you particularly are doing things for yourselves and recommending to each other.
Yes, because many of us participate in other organizations. We bring that experience to the coffee table.
For example?
Well, I mentioned Placer Earth Care Action. Every month, that group has a movie night, which is the third Thursdays, and that's held at Auburn Presbyterian Church. Where is it? Auburn Presbyterian Church on Bel Air Drive.
Okay.
And then on the first Sunday, the event is the Pika Presents, and that's a live person, usually with a presentation they have created. And that's at 1:15 at First Congregational Church in Auburn, the church on the hill. In addition, we just had Placer Plug-in Day, which was about electrifying our homes and EV technology and advances. That event was held at the Congregational Church. Also had vendors and contractors on hand to talk with people about ways they might actually do something in their home. And then a number of us who do have electric cars had our cars there, freshly washed, I will say, and were there on hand to talk about our experience with that particular car. And then we had a bit of a round table with other folks who would come to let them know how that's been for us. So those are some examples of activities of Placer Earth Care Action. Well, I bring that to the table for coffee when I come. And I mentioned the fellow who is Mr. Auburn and Placer High events and alum. He brings that to the table. So as we share about what we do in the rest of our lives, we are raising our awareness of opportunities in the Auburn area.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
And it's not formal and it's not highly organized.
And everybody's saying, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Glad not to do that.
Yeah, okay. And I think I said that I asked if there are sometimes people saying, you're kidding. No, you don't want me to do that. But they are willing to listen.
Yes. That's kind of the nature of this. As we get to know each other and find out what each other's interested in, also what health concerns we may have or what special burden we may carry for a relative, it builds a common life together. And again, we need that. We need to be connected with other people. So this is just a very simple opportunity to do that.
It's wonderful. But I'm still wondering why you call each other the co-conspirators.
I made that up.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just kind of a slang way of saying these people really know each other and have something in common. And so that was really the only reason why I slapped that label on.
Okay.
We have no agenda. We are not under someone else's orders or anything like that, which a name like co-conspirators might make you think. It's far less important than anything like that.
Yes. Okay. Are you just because I'm interested, are you still going to church?
Yes, but in our denomination, again, because I can't go back to the congregation where I served so long.
You can't go back to that.
Well, the new leader has to be there and comfortable with the old guy showing up again.
But if you're way in the back.
Well, remember, I'm hobbing and nobbing with all these people I've known for years. So
Okay. You can't be in the back.
Some people, yeah, I would stand out, yeah. And for some people that would be difficult, if they like him better than me or something like that. So we just avoid all of that. And my wife and I traveled down to Loomis to a Presbyterian church there. Strong, great congregation, growing. Pastor is fairly new. They just voted bring on an associate pastor. So there's a lot going on in that congregation. I knew them while I was leading the Auburn church and borrowed some of their procedures and so on, and I shared some of the things we had innovated in Auburn with them. So that was a good mutual relationship, a good run for me at Auburn, and a healthy congregation in Loomis now.
Good. Okay. And because you told me this before we started, you give blood. Why do you give blood?
Because I can. It seems like something most everybody could do. I'm up to around 450 donations. I started when I was in seminary in Marin County, and then in Kansas City.
That?
Seminary would have been 70 to 72.
Okay.
Then I was in Southern California for a year, and then married my wife on graduation day from seminary. Good day. And then we moved to Kansas City, and I donated there, and then moved to Sacramento, and then finally to Auburn to start the church here. You
started the church?
Yes.
Ah.
There hadn't been a Presbyterian church. I don't know why.
Okay.
But some folks came to the district where I was serving on a committee and said, well, where's our church?
Well, okay.
We looked at each other and said, should we keep these people interested and then see if this is a good idea? And it was, and we did. Okay. And by then I put up my hand, would you consider me to lead this? Because I'd helped with some other such projects. And they were foolish enough to say yes, so that's how it got us to Auburn.
Wise and foolish, wise. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good run.
But all this time you've been giving blood?
Yes.
Why?
Because it makes a difference for someone else's actual life. For most of those years, it was whole blood. But then they came up with a technology of apheresis, which is a spinning centrifuge they park right next to the couch where you're donating. It takes blood from your arm, whirls it around in there, and separates out components that they might need. Platelets, plasma, red cells. You're nodding because you know this.
Yes.
And so you can donate more often because the parts of the blood they don't need, they give you back.
Yeah. You
Plus
get
a
it back.
little extra liquid so you don't get dry.
Yeah.
And so you can give more often and it takes less out of you.
Yeah.
And cancer patients use a lot of platelets when their immune systems are basically destroyed as part of the treatment.
Yeah.
So there's a great need there, and they make you comfortable. They really are glad to see you.
They're thrilled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the blood story
Yes,
there.
Yes, and this is why I tell you. I ask you because I want you to know. It's vital, and I was thrilled. Yes. Okay. Do you know if there's anybody else like this, like the co-conspirators group, that is doing something similar?
Well, there was a group associated with the church I used to serve that was called Seekers and Skeptics. And that was, again, a very open discussion, more theological, more directly about religious matters. And that has continued, even though people have moved out of state. They join by Zoom or phone and participate in the discussions still.
Okay.
It's maybe once a month kind of deal.
Okay.
And 2 or 3 of the people in the co-conspirators group are also the spark plugs for that.
The spark plugs. Okay. Okay. And not everybody. Some people are involved in the churches. In the co-conspirators.
Yes.
But not everybody.
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And if somebody is interested in investigating, they don't have to be involved in church.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It's just that through the churches we have kind of an extra goad to keep us doing good things. And so we just take advantage of that.
Okay. 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 I think that's what we've got. Good.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to share about this. And again, to encourage people to be friendly, invite folks in your home or in some public place. And let's raise our relationship quotient in this community and make this an even better place to live.
Okay. I thought this was going to be deeply, deeply, deeply serious. A serious organization.
Yes.
It is deeply serious, but it's also pleasant and friendly.
Yeah.
And wanting to be even more friendly.
Yeah. More. It's fun, and you're often glad, indeed, that you came.
Yes. Okay. Ken, thank you very much for joining.
You're welcome, Susan.
And I thank you for watching. And I'll see you again.